not. All right, let me. Oh, there we go. There we go. Perfect.
Is it recording? Yay! Okay, you ready? Hey guys, it's Robby with a round 2 confessional, live confessional. So I just want to start off by saying I am glad that I'm still here to make this round 2 confessional. I wasn't completely sure of what was going to happen last round. So let's go where we left off in the last confessional. So it was the end of the first round, and we were going to tribal. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what to call it. Tribal or. Yeah, whatever.
We say elimination.
Okay, so we'll go with that. Thank you. So it was right before we were going into elimination, and I mentioned that the vote was on Regan. And that was brought up, first of all, it was brought up by Natalie, but in the back of my mind the entire day, Rory and myself and Madison, we were talking about Regan possibly going. So when Natalie brought it up, it was like, great, so I don't have to be the one to say I came up with it, So that was a good thing. We went into the vote, and I believe Regan was the one to go, but Regan got pretty much the majority of the votes, like 8-2 or some shit like that. If the votes, if they're tallying the votes correctly. But they were, Regan was the one to go, which was good. She made a scene on the way out. She's like, you guys such assholes. Fuck you. I couldn't stop laughing. It was just really funny. I felt bad because, she seemed like sweet at the moment. I know she can go off the rails at times, but she wasn't doing that with me at the moment. So I felt kind of bad. So then going into this round here, we had our Head Spy Challenge, which was a infomercial. And you know what? That's the one thing I love to do. I love editing videos, and I love making videos like commercials, infomercials, stuff like that. I really wanted to compete. But with my mom having chemo 3 days out of the week, and it happened to be those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it was. And they're like 5-hour chemo treatments each, and going there with her and then working for a little bit, I just couldn't. I couldn't, unfortunately, compete, so I didn't. I know Rory did, and I know that Romeo did. I don't know from the other agency who did. Anyway, so I was put on the agency with myself, Madison, Rory, Romeo, Natalie, Jimmy, and Jimmy. I'll get this.
I don't have the list, so I'm not sure.
That's okay. Anyway, so it was good because we had a 5 majority, which was myself, Rory, Madison, Romeo, and Natalie. So that was okay. I would have felt comfortable going into the vote. But then the challenge came up, and it was basically we had to figure out riddles. And usually I love riddles. I'm usually really good at riddles, but for this one, some of them were hard. When you think you know the answer, it just turns around and you don't, and it's completely something different, and you're like, oh, fuck, why didn't I think about that? But when it came down to it, we got 4 out of the 7 riddles, and then the results were posted live on call. Both tribes were there, both agencies were there, excuse me. And it came to 4 out of 7 for both tribes, so we tied. The tiebreaker, when it was revealed, we had like 5 minutes and 3 or 2 seconds. I had a feeling that the other agency did worse with time, and it was right. They did. So they wound up losing. Now onto the fun stuff. Come to find out, Keaton, myself, and Rory on the headquarters call, and come to find out, Keaton says that they threw the challenge. And that JJ was going around asking people to throw the challenge so that they can vote out JT. I was like, wow. And then JJ has been going around this game telling every single person about Madison, myself, and Rory being in the village and using that as leverage to get people to want to target us. First of all, fuck you, JJ. Okay, because your ass was in the village along with Chandler as well, but we kicked your ass out because you're ignorant. so deal with it. You could use that all you want, okay? And if people go after us for that specific reason, I will go 10 times harder at them. So bring it on, bitch. So right there and then, I was like, oh, fuck, JJ's got to go. Chandler's got to go. But JJ mostly, because JJ's trying to stir the pot, and I don't like it. And so, oh, something you should know about after last round. So in the first round, I was able to find a slider puzzle, which was linked to a possibility of getting a power, and I gave it to Madison, and Madison claimed it. Now the second round, right after the first round, I'm like, let me go on the board and just start clicking shit, and I did, and I came across a jigsaw puzzle, hidden behind little Nicole there on the board, and I wind up finding the jigsaw puzzle. It took me like an hour and 10 minutes to complete because I was high on my sleeping pill and halfway falling asleep, and it was a fucking jigsaw with rotating pieces, 100 pieces rotating. Kill me. And I actually I completed, I picked a briefcase, and I was blessed with a bulletproof vest, which is pretty much like an idol and allows me to play the vest to protect myself or someone else at elimination. So works just like an idol, and I'm excited that I got it. So I wanted to tell you because it's relevant to the next thing that I was going to say. So this round, I was debating whether or not I wanted to. This might sound crazy, but in my mind, I'm thinking, how can I get JJ out of this game? So in my mind, I'm thinking, do I want to go to JT? The reason why I didn't want to go and say anything to JT is because I didn't want to put Keaton in trouble, in any kind of danger, because Keaton's the one that told us, and they might realize that it came from Keaton. I didn't want to put him in any trouble, but I'm thinking in my mind, do I want to go to JT and be like, hey, buddy, they threw the challenge to vote you out. They're voting you out. Here's this fucking bulletproof vest. Play it on yourself and vote for JJ. And I'm like, but it's always so hard when you have a power like that, something that protects you in this game, that to give it up, especially to someone that you don't 100% trust, or someone where you don't exactly know if they're going to do that. Let's just say I give it to him and he votes Tony. Then it was fucking waste to give him my bulletproof vest. I'm spitting all over the place because I'm excited. Then it was a waste to give him that. So I decided that I wasn't going to. But it was a thought in my mind, and it would have been a good move had I actually had that much trust in JT and knew exactly what he was going to do with it. But these games are so... you just don't know what people are going to do. So yeah, I guess right now the vote is on JT. I've been trying to plant little bits of paranoia in people on the other agency, like JJ Chandler, and and kind of hint that I don't think the vote is JT. Like, kind of hint that JJ might be getting the votes, Chandler might be. I believe either. I don't think JJ did the video, unless he did. But Chandler or Curtis are the ones that won from that side. It has to be Curtis. And that's what scares me, is those four are together. JJ, Chandler, Curtis, and Mark. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind, that those four are together. And it's going to scare me because Mark told me he wanted to work with me. JJ said he wanted to work with me. I don't trust JJ as far as I can throw him and his little twig stick body. I can throw him pretty far, but I don't want to. Chandler and I really never talked about working together, but we have conversations. Curtis, same thing. We have conversations, but never really talked about working together. So Mark is the only one that I really want to work with. I mean, little funny fact, Mark and I only live about 8 to 10 minutes away from each other. We live very close together. That's really just waiting for the vote now. They go to elimination in about 2 hours, I believe. And then I'm going to gun so hard for this next fucking Head Spy challenge because I need to win it to make sure that we get one or two of them in the agency to where we can vote them out. Do you have any questions? Nicole.
So, it's still any... Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me
Yes, now I can.
at all? Okay. So I'm going to ask this a lot, and you're going to get tired of hearing. Don't ever say yourself, but right now, who do you think's in the best position to win this game?
Right now, I see someone like I see someone irrelevant like Trisha or Curtis, maybe, because Curtis is going to be protected and people are not going to want to go after someone like Curtis. And then Trisha is just, she's there. Nobody is bringing her name up to be targeted at all. She's going to be one of those where she slides by and then, bam, she hits you with that threat later on. So maybe I would say Trisha or Curtis have the best shot to win. Mostly Trisha at this point. The question of who do I trust the most? It has to be Rory. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Rory and I are like completely tight. We're like that. I mean, he shares everything with me. I share everything with him. We've played a game together. We made it to the final two in that game. We know how each other can be loyal to the extreme, and we know how loyal each other can be to one another. So Rory is definitely by far the one person I trust the most. Madison, a very close second. And if you want to know who I trust the least, I think you can gather that by me saying JJ and Chandler. Those two fucking snakes, deceptive snakes is what they are, and they've got to go. They've got to go. Oh, that's all I have. What is your strategy if you get to pick agencies next round?
I don't know if you can hear me or not. That's why I'm trying to say questions.
I think it's just kind of a little bit. I think it's just on a little lag, but I gotcha. So, what is my strategies if I win and get to pick agencies next round? So, I definitely want to pick. So, Rory and I talked about this. It's a very risky strategy, but it's something that could work. So, if Rory and I, or Rory, Madison, and I are competing, and two of us win, one person's going to pick an agency that consists of the majority of the people that we're with now, plus a few stragglers, and the other person is going to pick their agency with everyone in the game that is against us or not with us, like JJ, Chandler, Curtis, Mark. And then, because that would put the winner, one of us, with immunity and not being able to be voted out, so we can easily have them just say, all right, vote for us. They're not going to know who picked the agency. Vote for me. They're going to want to vote for me. Let's say it's me. They'll want to vote for me. Fuck you. I have immunity. Boom. Bye. So that's our strategy. However, if I win, I'll probably be the one to pick the majority of people that we're with, and maybe throw JJ and Chandler on that with us, so one of them can go.
Okay, I think that's all I have. Do you have any final thoughts to wrap up your confessional?
No, but I want my confessionals to get juicier and juicier, so this game needs to continue the way that it is, and there needs to be more shit stirred, and Rory and I are doing that for you. So for the people in the Viewers Lounge, I know who some of you are. I hope you're enjoying, and we're trying to stir this shit up as much as possible and keep you guys informed and give you a good show. So here's to doing that.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording.